She spent her whole life waiting, watching, hoping, gazing at the stars. Her days daydreaming out the window, imagine flying with the passing cars. But as she grew up, she started to notice how a girl should look and act and think, until one day when she realized that she too had to be this way. That's when pictures, posters, magazines burned into her eyes. Images of altered beauty fed into her lies. All she'd hoped for, all she'd wished was to look like them somehow. And as she'd sigh, she'd close her eyes and ask, am I beautiful now, na 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 now, na na now? Am I beautiful now, na 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 now, na na now? Am I beautiful now? Tortured, teasing, hurtful words never let her mind be at rest. She thought to become anything, she must look better than her best. She'd stare for hours in the mirror as the tears flowed forth from her eyes. The words that scarred her fueled the fire to continue her self-loathing cries. Like the pictures, posters, magazines that burned into her eyes. Images of altered beauty fed into her lies. All she'd hoped for, all she'd wished was to look like them somehow. And as she'd sigh, she'd close her eyes and ask, am I beautiful now, na 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 now? Am I beautiful now, na 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 now, na na now? Am I beautiful now? Unloved, unwanted, feeling down. All she'd wished for was to be that girl, the one in high school with all the friends who can turn the heads of the world. She had to find a way to be that one, to give her life purpose like no one had done. Though people told her how beautiful she really was, it never made a difference for all too long, because of the pictures, posters, magazines that burned into her eyes. Images of altered beauty fed into her lies. All she'd hoped for, all she'd wished was to look like them somehow. And as she'd sigh, she'd close her eyes and ask, am I beautiful now, na 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 now? Am I beautiful now, na 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 now? Am I beautiful now? Desperate times, desperate measures, or at least that's what she told herself. Never eating, slowly wasting away, faking her perfect health. But even though the scale numbers dropped, she still looked in the mirror and cried. What she didn't seem to realize is that she never would be satisfied. In college she had found love, and she thought that she knew why. And if only she were thinner, he would never leave her side. And then her health began to fade down a steep decline. The doctors sad eyes, and though she'd never open them, he didn't realize she saw pictures, posters, magazines that burned into her eyes. Images of altered beauty fed into her lies. All she'd hoped for, all she'd wished was to look like them somehow. As she closed her eyes for the last time, she asked, "Am I beautiful now?"